Welcome to This Week in College Hockey. Tony Scott on the mic with Sydney Wolf. Can I give you a real last name? Or are you just
why?
Gonna,
I don't need the people online to know.
I mean, that's why.
If they search online for about 10 seconds, it's probably pretty easy.
Okay, and the only one who doesn't have a fake name here, Jess Myers, but we could call you Wes.
Hey,
and
my
that
name's
be
not
like your,
fake.
It's a fake. It's a fake.
It's my maiden name. It's not fake.
Name. All right. Okay, I have a fake name.
Yeah, yours is the fake name.
I'm the fakiest.
Can I get a fake name now? Can I be like Tyler Myers?
Wes.
You can be whatever you want.
Wes Myers.
Jess
Myers.
I think you should get a name.
No, I'm good. I'm all good. Thank
you. From the Pioneer Press.
From the Pioneer Press.
How have you been Pioneer Pressing lately? What have you been writing about besides gamers?
You remember October?
Yeah.
The Minnesota Wild want to forget October.
Oh, so
October was bad.
Just
erase it.
Bad
erase
October.
The whole thing.
I thought of I did a story basically about their slow start, and I proposed to my editors, why don't we just call it Dead October instead of
Red October?
And they thought Hunt for Red October. It came out in like 1990. It's too old.
No one will know. Yeah. But people who do read newspapers would remember.
It'd be funny
though,
yeah.
But they're 1-0 in November, so everything's fine. All
Reset.
good.
It's glorious.
Reset. Turn the page. Throw all that away.
What is the schedule this week? Who do the
Nashville at home on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Underachieving Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Coached by our friend Andrew Burnett. Greatest moment in Minnesota Wild history.
And Darby Hendrickson.
And Todd Richards there, I believe.
Is he?
Still as well.
Really?
Kind of an all-Minnesota coaching staff there. Then they go on the road for a two-gamer, go to Carolina. I will be in Raleigh covering that one. Yeah. And then they go to face the Islanders on Long Island, the resurgent Islanders under number 1 draft pick Matthew Schaefer. I will not be at that one.
You will not be.
Then they're coming back home. They get Calgary, San Jose. Now, if you lose both of those games on home ice, that's a big
batten down the hatches
because Calgary's not good and San Jose is
young,
a fun team, but they're young.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Raleigh-Durham is a very, very underrated
fantastic town.
Very, very
you guys have all been to Grand Rapids, Minnesota. I got off the plane in Raleigh, and I'm like, I'm in Grand Rapids. It's hilly. It's pine trees.
Wow.
It's, it reminded me a lot of being in that part of northern Minnesota.
Are there 3 world-renowned academic institutions within 15 minutes of each other in Grand Rapids?
Yes, there are.
Name them. Itasca Community College.
Yes.
Grand Rapids
Oh, you're
High
asking
School,
me if they are in Grand Rapids.
And Coleraine Greenway High School in Coleraine.
Greenway of Coleraine.
Those are 3 bastions of that higher
sleep on Deer
education.
River.
Yes.
Don't sleep on Deer River.
Oh my gosh.
No, so little side note, I go to Raleigh last year, first time I'd ever been there. So I take a drive and I go see Duke, the Duke University campus.
Cool. It is so
beautiful campus, amazing. And I texted the one friend I have who went to Duke, and I said, "Man, it's unbelievable here." And she said, "Yeah, that's why they charge $300,000 a year for tuition, because everything is amazing there, but
it is nice.
You pay the price."
It is nice. We went there for a game against North Carolina a couple years ago, and then we went to tour the schools the next day before our flight went out. And I was like, it was like, this is how I tell people that it's like. It's like the U of M is NC State, and it's a real nice school, really old, whatever. And then you'd go to Andover, and that would be North Carolina. It's about 25 minutes away, and then you go another 20 minutes over to Maple Grove, and there's Duke.
Yep.
I was like, this is incredible how close they were to each other, and just a little highway drive away.
It's funny you make that analogy. The old Arizona Coyotes rink that was up in Glendale.
Yeah.
People were saying, beautiful rink. Why don't people go there? I said, picture the Minnesota Wild if their arena was in Monticello.
Exactly.
Beautiful arena, but just way too
far
out of the city. Monticello is a nice town.
Yeah.
I don't know that people from Cottage Grove would drive there on a Tuesday night to go see a Wild game.
It's tough. It's got to be centrally located. So, I kind of just use those little Minnesota landmarks. It's just it's super
nice
cool
area, good barbecue. They're it's the only pro team in that region, and they turn out for the Hurricanes, and they're a good hockey team too.
Speaking of NC State, the parking lot of the NC State football stadium is the tailgating lot for the hockey arena.
They share a parking lot.
2 buildings, the football stadium and where the Canes play, and then the parking lot, making another triangle just across the parking lot, is their training facility, which is another 200-yard walk or whatever like that.
So. And I went by. Of course, I had to go by the stadium, the home of the Durham Bulls. From Bull Durham.
Yes,
it was great. Classic movie from about that same era again too.
I remember I did a podcast with Matt Cullen, and he was telling me about when they won the Cup in Carolina, and we would park at our practice facility, then always walk over, and we would get there, 2-3 hours before an NHL game to get ready or whatever, and the parking lots were packed. We'd walk through, and the fans would go get him. He goes, it was just it was an environment like I'll never forget.
I did a nice piece last year on Jackson Blake when he was a rookie for the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
He made nice inroads for himself. Got off to a nice start.
And a nice contract,
and here's a fun bit of trivia about the Carolina Hurricanes. Rod Brind'Amour, head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, played at Michigan State. Here's what Rod Brind'Amour and I have in common.
Oh, wow.
You heard of Dale Jago, head coach at Duluth-Denfeld High School?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Dale Jago and Rod Brind'Amour in prep school at Notre Dame in Saskatchewan were roommates.
Really?
Okay. Dale went to Minnesota Duluth. Rod goes to Michigan State. When Dale was at Minnesota Duluth as a senior, I was one of his roommates. So Rod Brind'Amour and I both lived with Dale Jago at one point in our lives.
I have a Dale Jago story that I couldn't share online here.
I was his roommate. I have some that I couldn't tell in court.
Yes. I'll say, and I mean these all in nice.
Fantastic guy, fantastic coach, Dale.
I will say he's an open book while he's coaching.
Absolutely.
I've been next to his bench a handful of times. I'm like, wow, this guy is a quote machine.
For people who don't know, or don't remember this, a couple years ago, Denfeld against Hermantown, section final. Yes. End of the first period, it's 6-0 Hermantown. And on local TV, they pull Dale Jago aside and say, what do you need to do to get back in this game? And he said, I think we need the Messiah to come visit our locker room.
Oh, my gosh.
And then he proceeded to say, we spent the first period skating like our pockets were full of eggs and we didn't want to break any of them. I mean, it was just...
He's a quote machine. He's an absolute quote machine. So he was Brind'Amour's roommate at Notre Dame.
At prep school, and then I lived with him for a year, or about a half a year at Minnesota Duluth. Nice little off-campus house. Had some fun times. Great guy.
That's a good story.
Still stay in touch with him to this day. His wife Steph is in a band up there. Very talented singer artist.
Wow.
So,
you should be in the band with her.
I should. I'm trying to find a good band to join. But
well, you're more of a hard rock.
No, I'll play with anybody. I'll play with anybody. I swear.
Their band, I think it's called Tombstone Chapel. It's more of a country rock. Okay. That kind of.
I'm definitely not. I know all the hockey people are like, oh, I love country. I'm not a big country person, but I would play country if I had to.
So
would not prefer it.
Well, you're a diverse musician.
So
it's too bad we don't talk about college hockey at all.
I know. It'd be great. Well, this is kind of fills the void of we don't have an intro yet, so this was kind of our cold
there's
open.
10,000 small world stories I feel like in hockey anybody can tell. So we got to tell a couple every episode.
I like it.
Here's a teaser on a future episode. I'll tell my weird connection to
Rod Brind'Amour, you just did that.
I did that one. I'll tell the weird connection to Martin Brodeur story sometime in the future.
There's
a
I
teaser.
feel like so many people have those
not for
in
this
hockey
week.
of
Not for this week.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, let's get rolling.
Let's get into it.
Okay, might as well.
I just can't wait till we get to the St. Cloud State should be ranked top 20. I've just
no,
been waiting.
oh my
I've
gosh!
been waiting since
I'll have to tell you
night.
if we get to the part where we talk about the polls. I sent out a tweet earlier, and I think everybody's confused. Not St. Cloud State, but everyone's confused.
We could do a whole pod
horrible.
on how terrible the polls
God,
are.
this week it's so bad. I looked at it.
We should do our own
in the world.
Next week we're doing our own
polls.
Next week, are you down with that?
Yeah.
Let's make our own poll. Like this is crap. What they're putting out right
three
now.
voters. just
I seriously took a look at it and I just was mad for multiple teams.
I'm
even
down
Omaha. I'm like, Omaha is not ranked in the polls, and they swept CC, who is in the polls.
Amen.
Since we're talking about the polls, here's my favorite part of this week's polls. Interesting note: Minnesota, first time since pre-COVID, Minnesota is in the not in the top 25.
Yeah.
They're 2-7-1. I mean, they
don't deserve to be.
They don't deserve to be in the top 25. 2019-2020 season was the last time they were not in the top 25. So it's been a long time.
Yep.
More than 5 years. But this is my favorite part, as we noted. They got one vote, which means there's one person out there that listed them as 25th.
Can we out that person?
I don't.
Or can we just have a list of who's voting this year? Because some of these choices, I am just baffled. I mean,
they do it on Barstool. Like, is it someone's on Barstool who basically
John Buccigrass has his own top 20 every week.
Yeah, that's
but then at least
too.
if he posts it, then you go, okay,
You
well,
own it.
you can tell who he's voting for if he's voting for the polls. You'd be like, okay, well, he had this. Has some accountability if he's posting his because you see who he's voting for.
There is an AP voter who has his credentials through USC who openly doesn't know a thing about college football. College football.
Oh, are you talking this? I
think it's a female
yes,
reporter.
I know who you're talking about.
They outed her.
Yeah.
They outed her.
Yep.
Because I think they should out the people who are voting in the
so,
college
too.
hockey
She was
polls,
like
'cause some of
open
these
about
are
it.
so bad.
She was like benevolent. Like,
She was like,
whatever,
I have to
cares?
do this.
Yeah.
I forget who it was, but there was a team.
But it does have a big effect on.
People are purely voting on hype right now, and it is so bad.
There was always that, like when I worked in a more of an office setting, when you do the college basketball, the 60 for the bracket. You do their bracket every year. There was always one or two people who would go like alphabetical order.
Uniform color.
Yeah, exactly. Arizona is going to beat North Carolina because A comes for N or whatever. I, interestingly enough, do my college hockey bracket every year for the basketball pool, which is if it's a hockey school playing a non-hockey school,
you take the hockey
school wins.
I like that.
If it's two hockey schools playing each other, and it happens now and then. You get Michigan State against Boston College. In basketball.
Yeah.
I pick whoever's ranked higher in the pairwise. And if it's two basketball schools, like if it's two non-hockey schools, I just pick the higher seed. It's surprisingly accurate, although I have had Princeton winning the national championship before, just because process of elimination. Hey, Robert Morris has been in there.
Better.
Robert Morris has been in the basketball tournament. They've gone to my Final Four before.
How about could you just do ones that kind of sound like a hockey school? Like that could be a definite hockey school.
Yeah. I mean, I could get real deep and go with like their club team. See how is their club team any good?
Is their club team any good?
Exactly. For sure.
All right. So let's roll up our sleeves and talk some hockey. Are you going to pull it out? We're just gonna. I'm gonna do a little poll section.
A poll section?
We'll
I just typed one in at the end because
after our USHL
I have so many beefs with the poll this week. It's so bad. I
gotta see it.
There's always a little bit of beefs with the poll, but like this week
was brutal.
I literally tweeted, "Does anyone else get some of these?" Because I'm very confused, and a lot of people are like, "I don't know what this is."
Since Saturday night, I've been waiting for once
bad.
St. Cloud beat Western. I'm like, Sydney promised on our show that they were going to be in the top 20, and I don't even.
I have notes on that too, but like, they put up 10 goals on Western, and they're also
who's in the top 20? Who's got the worst rating in here? Like the one that's a joke. I say North Dakota at 8 is a joke.
Or are we talking about it now? Because I'll get into it.
No,
now.
we'll do it later.
Boston College is 2-4-1. I see, and they're
they beat the Gophers.
I got a lot of. There was some
once,
weird
and then
games
lost them in a shootout. Since we're going to talk about that, how about Northeastern? They're for real all of a sudden.
Yeah, well,
and most teams in college hockey have a home rink. They don't.
They still do, right?
Well, for like a couple more weeks.
I think it was this month.
Yeah.
At some point, like the 15th.
East Coast friends of mine were posting pictures saying this is probably my last trip to Matthews Arena. Great.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Northeastern's arena is literally like from the Titanic era. Was the original home of the Celtics, was the original home of the Bruins.
Actually historic.
Yeah, historic, but it is
Joe
just...
Louis fought there, Frank Sinatra sang there. I mean, I could just keep going. It's unbelievable.
Yep. But it's way out of date. So they're going to tear it down. They're going to be kind of nomadic for a year or two. And
they're going to redo it, right?
Yeah, and they're going to rebuild on that site, build a new arena on that site, which will be huge for Northeastern because, they've always been kind of the third
tenant,
the third or fourth team in the Boston area for no good reason other than the fact that I think the facility has really held them back.
That's one of the I wrote excerpts for our home ice book that'll be coming out in the next year or so, and that was one of my rinks that I got.
The one time I was in there, 2015 Frozen Four, they actually held the Hobie ceremony.
There
at Matthews Arena. There's no ice in it. They just on the playing surface. They had chairs set up and fans could file in. Jack Eichel won the Hobie there.
So you're saying they had it on the ice or on the
floor,
dry floor?
On the dry floor. There was no.
Because there's some journalists that would go down if it was on the ice.
They've had it on the ice at certain arenas before. I want to say Columbus. The tournament, the Frozen Four was played at Ohio State's arena, the Schottenheinz Center, but the Blue Jackets Arena hosted the Hobie announcement, and they did it right on the ice.
2021 Mr. Hockey was the year it was COVID, and we all had masks on, and it was in April or whatever.
Jack Pert, if I remember correctly.
Yes, good, very good, and Jack Winicky. And the photographer couldn't show up, so Marty Miele says, "Hey, can you come shoot the pictures? You're going to be there anyway, because we videotape the banquet every year." And on my own live feed, I almost took the hardest fall of my life on the. I got up. I slipped and I got up and I was like this, and I got my balance by like a molecule. If it had been one less,
you had one of those moments where you're like,
I would have fallen right on.
Here's what I remember about that Mr. Hockey award ceremony. Okay, Marty Miele is a Minnesota Minuteman or whatever. Yep. He's kind of
he's the guy.
He's the guy, right? Where did Marty Miele play college hockey?
St. Cloud State.
Right. The host that night, Katie Emmer, now Katie Storm, St. Cloud State. And then Jack Peart wins it. I'm like, oh, what a shock.
Fixed.
Total fix-in for the Huskies.
And who gave the inspirational speech that night? Do you remember that?
Craig Dahl, I'm going to guess?
No. Henry Boucher. So
did he?
Always comes back to World. Always comes back to World.
So I remember texting Katie Emmer and saying, "Oh boy, gee, I'm shocked. Huskies recruit won it."
Just amazing.
Jack Peart, by the way, now with the Iowa Wild in the Wild system.
Yep.
Well, speaking of World, we might as well get through all the Minnesota teams first before we talk about all the other teams in Northeastern and all that stuff. But speaking of War Road, the Warhawks again is the line that we now, I guess, have a name for.
Shoggoby Plant. Yep.
Yeah.
The Warhawk line.
Had another good weekend their line did, but Minnesota Duluth won in overtime and then had a regulation loss to North Dakota, so it was 4-3 OT and then 5-1 the next day.
So after the 4-3 win on Friday, somebody tweeted out, I can't remember who.
Yeah.
9 games into the season, the Warhawk line had 50 points.
It's
in 9 games.
Zam was 1+3 Friday, and Max was 2+2, and Shoggoby had a couple of ridiculous plays. Yep. So, just they're just insane. But that was big. And then Ty Hansen overtime game-winning goal. Couple of the goals were really crazy if you watch the replays. Just crazy plays. And there's a couple where you can tell. I think it's the one. I think it was Shoggoby to Zam, and I think Zam's like, because it was just one of those where you just couldn't believe that it was the pass that was made. And
they had one of those.
It was just perfect everything.
Pretty tic-tac-toe ones. It was just so fun to watch.
Yeah.
When I heard they were going to put them together the line 2 years ago, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
My problem with this, and I'm so glad they lost. I said this on the commute today. I'm so glad they lost on Saturday, because the amount of Bulldogs, I've made way too many friends in the Duluth area and Duluth grads. It was going to get completely out of hand had they swept UND, because there was Max Plant will win the Hobie. He's locked up the Hobie. I got that text. It was just one text after another, just bearing down on me, and I'm like, this team needs to lose. This team needs to lose, or this is going to be a long year.
I'll tell you this: you look at UMD's history playing at North Dakota, and we all know that was Scott Sandelin's school, and to this day, some North Dakota fans lament that somehow he got away. He got away.
Yeah.
All of that. The Bulldogs will take 2 points out of Grand Forks anytime they can get them. That's just they've always struggled.
I feel like every team would. Yeah.
Yep.
Tough place to play.
But tough place to play. Yeah.
And UND's owned Amsoil the last few years too.
Yeah. We've told the story before, but the grand opening of Amsoil Arena. North Dakota comes in, wins 5-0, and an hour after the game, sitting in the press box, I asked my friend who ran the arena at the time, "Can you blow the goal horn just so we can hear what it sounds like?" We didn't get to hear it during the game.
Yeah, what's the new goal horn sound like?
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Although that season ended okay for the Bulldogs.
Not bad.
Well, a few other notes from that weekend. Adam Kleber lone goal Saturday for Duluth, so another Minnesotan. And then for North Dakota, kind of a cool fact that I saw from Schloss. Ben Strinden had 4 assists Saturday on the Parents' Night game, and he lost his dad in July, so it was kind of like emotional post-game thing. It seemed like a huge game for him, so that's always, it was kind of cool to see him have a big game for that. reason. And then I saw North Dakota too. They've been kind of splitting their goalies a little bit early on because, you know, they've got transfer freshmen, that kind of stuff. And their guy, who I believe is from Czechia, so again, sorry if I don't pronounce it right, Jan Spunar, got the win in goal Saturday. He might be kind of the go-to guy, I think, because their other goalie has a couple losses, and I know it's different games. You know, you're not playing the same games every night, but it seems like maybe he'll be the guy. I don't know. He's won a couple of their games now. But he's a freshman. And then Per Schloss, also one of their freshmen that was supposed to be really good this year, Josh Zakreski, who I believe is one of the major junior guys, going to be out long-term due to injury he got in practice. So that might be kind of a negative for North Dakota. And one thing I just wanted to bring up, too, that I've seen a few Duluth fans say is, you know, everyone's talking about this crazy good line, the Warhawk line and everything, but does Duluth need to be worried kind of about depth scoring at all? Like, they have this crazy good line. Are they going to be good enough the rest of the year? Like, will the depth help them, or are they just going to be rolling that line, like, all the time? A very good question. I think, what if injury? Because if you look at the history of those three players, and no offense meant to those three, they've had some injury troubles over the year. All three of them have. And that's the one where it makes me most nervous, because my wife, when we were at that UMD game and they scored the goal, that was amazing. She goes, "Are you cheering for UMD?" I'm like, "I'm not really cheering for anybody. I love good hockey, and especially the Minnesota kids doing what they're doing out there right now. This is fun to watch for me." So
Josh Zareski just looked him up. Good-sized kid, 6'0", 196, played the last 3 seasons for the Portland Winterhawks in the WHL, including last year where he had 70 points in 66 games.
Not bad for a
pretty good.
How old is he? What's his birth year?
39 goals. He is a 2005, so he's 19 right now.
So
he'll turn 20 in December. But
he's a regular.
Just on paper, that looks like a big loss for North Dakota, because he's obviously a guy who can score some goals. He had played 6 games for North Dakota, a goal and 2 assists in those 6 games. So.
Not bad.
Yeah, so get well soon, Josh. Good to have you in college hockey, and
absolutely
hope to see you back out on the ice.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah, it just said long-term, I believe, with lower body injuries, so not sure the timeline on that. But, yeah.
And those are scary, because that can, worst case scenario, that can mean an ACL or something like that.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, anyway.
But I feel like long-term usually means, surgery or broken bone or something like that. But, yeah, that could be something Duluth fans, I know I saw a couple of them start to talk about a little bit. You know, you love that top line, but injury happens or something else, someone else is going to have to step up, and then what do you do if those guys are out? So something to watch.
I'll tell you this, he's not going to break them up.
No,
I don't think he should. I don't think he should.
It would take some desperate measures for them to split those guys up, just because they've been so good together. I think I told you when I joked with Scott Sandelin about the Warhawk line being the nickname, he said, "I don't care what you call him, just keep scoring." Yeah,
he doesn't care about stuff like that. But I think the key, and you alluded to this last week, the key is the blue line. Talked about Kleber, but Ty Hansen's offensive force. You got Joey Pearson, Aaron Pionk. I mean, that's a really good blue line, and I think that is the key to this team. I mean, you get the goaltending, you get the good goaltending, good defense, and then one line that's just, this has got national champion type of aura to them.
Just got to stay healthy and get some good goaltending, and could be good. But that was that weekend, so obviously Duluth takes a couple of points out of North Dakota, but otherwise it's, more or less a split. It's overtime, so it's not a true split, but close-ish.
I call it a split.
Yeah, I mean, kind of,
You got 2 points.
Yeah, so not a true split, but a
we argued about this last year. What's a split?
I mean,
partial
split?
Split asterisk.
If you get a 2 out of the 6, I think you've gotten some points.
Yeah, so you get that. I have a lot of thoughts on the St. Cloud State Western game, obviously.
Especially the ratings.
I didn't watch all of period 1 Friday because obviously it was Halloween, so I was doing Halloween stuff. But St. Cloud State splits with Western Michigan. The Friday game was 5-4, so I know some people are like, well, they still split. Well, 5-4 Friday, and it was very close. It was a very entertaining game Friday, very back and forth. If St. Cloud State could have killed like one penalty in that game, I think they could have won. Just there was a couple moments where it was kind of funny, just to paint the picture for anyone listening. I'm like watching this game on my phone, the very end of the game, like everyone else in my house is asleep. I'm watching the game on my phone, and just there was one power play at the end that was so bad for St. Cloud, where they like whiffed on it a couple of times, and I was just going like, oh my God, like just because they were so close so many times they could not tie it up. But that game could have easily went to overtime. It did not, though. And then they come back and they win 5-1 Saturday, just kind of
decisive,
firing on all cylinders a little bit. They got goals from a bunch of kind of people that normally wouldn't see, like Tony, Jack Ryman, Minnesotan, scores two Saturday, and he's usually not like a huge goal scorer.
Is this the best win for St. Cloud in a couple years, isn't it?
No, I mean, they've had big wins, but I mean, for this year for sure. And last year obviously was tough. But I mean,
once
the past
they lost their
years,
goalie last year, they didn't have any good wins.
I don't know if they did last year.
It's
Last
been a
year was
while.
tough, but this year it just feels a little different. They're scoring a lot. One thing I did want to bring up, we talked a little bit about pre-show, was brother-on-brother crime here. Older brother Ty Henricks gets a 5-minute major for a check on younger brother Tanner Henricks, honorary Minnesotans. And Tanner, now according to Brett, that I heard, will be out about 3 months, which also takes him likely out of World Juniors. Which
what was
sucks.
the play? Was it a check from behind, or
I just walked in the door when it happened to my house. I was getting home from Halloween stuff with my daughter, and it was one of those plays where I didn't even really see it because I got home right when the first period was over, and they started the second with 5. So I think they reviewed it for 5 right at the buzzer. So it was one of those weird plays, and I didn't see anybody clip it online. So I don't know if it was just one of those weird freak things, but I know he just came back from injury like the week before, so I don't know if maybe he did something and then it got re-aggravated. But that really sucks. But I will say, though, one kind of positive is St. Cloud State then played so well without him, and he's like the top offensive D as a freshman.
Yep.
So kind of crazy they put up that many goals, and he barely played this weekend. He played 1 period of the weekend and got hurt. But that's going to make Thanksgiving pretty awkward, we said, you know?
Yeah, I got to know both parents, Scott and Michelle, pretty well. I can only imagine if they were at the game.
And they're both big guys, too. They're not small players.
Oh, no.
They're big
definitely
dudes.
Not. I mean, Ty was always bigger. They called him the big rig or diesel or something. Like, he was a big kid. Tanner was bigger, but he had the really good hands. Tanner had some of the most filthy hands I've ever seen. So the fact that he's an offensive defenseman, no one's surprised by that.
Yeah. Well, one other note I wanted to mention, too, is St. Cloud's been splitting a lot of their goaltending responsibilities between Jan Shostak, who is the reigning USHL goalie of the year, international guy, and then this transfer from Maine named Patrick Berzins. And I didn't really know a ton about him. He didn't play a lot at Maine last year because obviously he was behind their kind of hot goalie at the time. So came in, didn't know that much about him. And they've been splitting a lot, and I think it's got to be Berzins' net. He hasn't lost yet in all the games he's played, has not lost. And, dude, he's just been standing on his head. He's been making some great saves. Unfortunately, he has not gotten a shutout, even though he's deserved it. Every game, it's close to the end of the third period. I'm like, this guy deserves a shutout so bad. And then we'll take a dumb penalty, and then they get one on the power play or something. But I think he might be the guy going forward. I mean, I like Shostak too, but Berzins, who's Latvian, been really good. So I hope he plays this weekend because he's been really, really fun to watch.
Who's more underrated in the Nacho, Omaha or St. Cloud?
I feel like they're even right now. Neither
So
top 20. And
That's
somehow
the problem with the
CC
Nacho.
and Miami
once you
are
take your eyes
rated
off
ahead
of them,
in the polls.
Who are?
Miami and CC are above.
Is Miami in the
No,
top
but they're
20?
the top receiving votes,
Oh, okay.
so they'd be 21.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. We'll get to that later because I have frustration for the Omaha homies as well.
Yes.
Tony, do you want to talk about the USHL?
I would love to. I'm excited with our partnership this year. We've gotten so much more access to USHL teams, so we're able to cover the USHL better. We have a junior hockey pod, which is like talk about from the bedroom, right?
It's
like
been really
7:30
funny
on a Tuesday night. You guys knocked the thing
Peter
out, right?
jokingly texted in our group chat. Well, not jokingly, we were kind of considering it if we should just call it the Love to See It pod. Because we're constantly going, love to see it. Love to see the Minnesotans.
Yeah. Oh,
kicking
yeah.
butt.
Because the Minnesotans are having a great
And we
year.
get on a lot of funny tangents. So if you like just really random Minnesotan connections and funny stories, it's the pod for you.
What was the Elmira one? How
Oh,
did
that
that
was
even
good
come
too.
about?
Well, we were talking about apparently their Null team fired their GM and coach.
Got
and
it.
then Drew said, I don't even know Elmira had a team, and we got on this whole tangent, and then Joey Memes clipped it because he thought it was Elvira.
Yeah.
It's pretty random.
Well, Drew's got a great personality. He's really funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's Here's a guy who's one of the Pine City boys. Do you even know what the Pine City boys are?
Yes, and he was
Did that come
actually
out yet?
we actually found a very random Pine City connection on the show last week. We were talking about high school penalty minutes, and we went on this deep dive. And he was like, "Oh, it's Pine City." We had a Pine City shout out last week, actually.
Yeah, so he and like a couple buddies would dress up in like Pine City basketball.
I remember
jerseys.
them because
Do you remember them?
Yes, because I remember
This is
going
him. He's
to.
like a grown adult. He's married.
I want to say my senior or junior, one of the years I was in high school, Cathedral went, and I think it was one of the years they took third at state. And I remember going, and I think he was watching state, and I think they were there as the Pine City guys, just cheering randomly. And then I remember
Hockey
going
helmets and basketball jerseys.
And I remember going to KVSC and then being like, "Oh, I think that was that guy."
Pine City guys.
It was Drew, yeah.
They had their own podcast.
Oh my
They had a
gosh, I didn't know
podcast. It was
that. That's
great.
crazy.
Drew is awesome. Drew's awesome.
But yeah, it's a wild ride for anyone who wants to.
So if you want to
Give
check
it a
out our
listen.
show, they do a great job covering the USHL. We cover other leagues too. I'm sure you said you're talking about
mostly USHL.
Talking
but,
about WHL, there's a lot of it. All kind of comes together now.
Yeah.
There's all these with the WHL and the Minnesota students so well out there. It's kind of fun to talk about the whole thing. And thanks to Glenn Efron to kind of giving us this platform to talk about USHL and to bring it to you guys.
Any kind of reckless speculation we can throw out there about what city in Minnesota will get the next USHL team? You know, it's been a long time because
God,
Minnesota's
it
had a
has
team,
been.
and there is a
Besides
great
St. Paul, what
there's a great history in Minnesota.
yeah,
you had the Austin
Rochester,
Packers, you had the Rochester, you had the Bloomington Junior Stars back in the day.
Way back.
The St. Paul Vulcans, who later became the Twin Cities Vulcans, and then
I'm going Bloomington, Minnesota.
Bloomington, Minnesota. Bloomington Ice Garden?
Bloomington Ice Garden.
Interesting. I always think Rochester. I don't know why. It just seems to be more
I was just
geographically
there.
with all the Iowa teams.
Well, and they don't have a null team right now either.
It would
so.
fit perfect with the Iowa teams.
Yep.
What do you think about that, Ryan?
Geographically?
Graham 4, home of the Rochester Mustangs.
I think they'd have to be the Mustangs.
It's a nice arena.
Bring back the Mustangs.
That's what their youth team goes with now.
I like it.
Yeah.
Because
I
we
like it a lot.
we got it going.
Isn't
too,
there an
because
NA3
we would
team
call
down
them,
there?
We would call them like
I think there's an NA3, but there's not a regular null team in Rochester.
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies. Do they play Grand
at
Four?
Grand 4.
That makes sense.
My favorite youth sports nickname I've seen in Minnesota. For anybody who follows soccer, Manchester United, you know, the big, the Dallas Cowboys of soccer. Man U, they call them.
Yep.
Played a youth soccer team from Mankato. They had Man U.
I like that.
Awesome? Yeah, pretty good.
That is good. I like
it.
that a lot. All right, let's move on.
Getting back to the other Minnesota teams here.
Speaking of Mankato, how about that?
Speaking of Mankato,
pitched it right to you.
we had some Minnesota v. Minnesota action with St. Thomas and
I love
Minnesota
that.
State.
A lot of
And I
purple.
believe this was a home and home as well.
Home and home
right?
a split too, I think.
Yeah, so it was 3-1 Minnesota State night one. The next night overtime win for St. Thomas.
Did
So
I say
again,
split?
split
Sort of
asterisk,
split.
I guess.
Again, you get 2 points. That's a lot.
Some Minnesotans on Friday. Evan Merce scores for Mankato. Luke Whalen scores for St. Thomas. The next day, overtime, game-winning goal for Nathan Pilling, another guy from the CHL.
Is it Pilling or Piling?
Is it Piling? I don't know.
It's 1 L, isn't it?
No, it's 2, I
Is
think.
it 2? Sorry.
I don't know. If anyone knows the pronunciation. He's not a Minnesotan, so I don't know. But I know he's
some
been
of those
good.
double L's are bad on these guys. So
I know he's been a good player for them, though. But I did see Will Ingeman got the net for both games for St. Thomas, Minnesotan.
So funny enough,
he promised us a
not a sponsor of the
Will
show, but
Ingeman.
I'm just going to give a nice plug. George's Shoe Repair. We've all heard of them
George's Shoe Repair.
in St. Paul on Grand Avenue.
I don't know.
The most prominent, most well-known place to get hockey gear fixed
Oh, really?
anywhere.
Cool.
I mean, people from the Wild come in there, colleges come in there. I have a friend who lives in Baltimore. Shout out to Bobby Jones. Big rec hockey player. Calls me a couple weeks ago. Have you heard of George's Shoe Repair? Of course I had. I had kids who play youth hockey. I took their skates in there. You know, it was cheaper than buying new stuff. Just have this place fix them. He says, I just found out about this place. I've got 4 pairs of hockey gloves. I need new palms. Can I mail them there? I said, just mail them to my house. I'll bring them in there. So I stop in with my 4 pairs of my buddy Bobby's hockey gloves to George's Shoe Repair on a Thursday afternoon. I'm heading to the Wild game. And
I know where this is going.
A guy's in there at the counter. He's getting his chest protector back and, you know, thanking, hey, I can get free tickets anytime you guys want to go to a Tommy's game. Let me know. And as he's walking out, on the front of the chest protector, it says Ingeman. I'm like, well, Josh Myers, I cover the,
Yeah.
have a nice conversation with him, and then he winds up getting the start in both games this
Super
weekend.
nice kid.
Why is that a kid? My friend Jack Peterson was one of his backups in youth hockey. So cool. That I happen to run him. It's a small town.
It is small. So his dad Brian is a principal in Bloomington.
Okay.
And now he's a principal where Jake and Olivia and Hadley went to school. He wasn't there when we were there, but so we had him on our high school podcast, Will, on the pod, and like whenever he gets stumped, like on a question, we would ask him like, blah blah blah, what year was that or whatever, and then he literally would go, "Hey Brian, what was the?" And then his dad would answer the questions in the background, and then right as we were about to sign off, my Minneapolis Southwest jersey was on the wall, the purple one with the Native American on the front of it, and he's like, "Before I go, I just got to ask, what is that jersey with the purple? That is the coolest thing I've ever seen."
And that's how he wound up at St. Thomas. He likes purple.
Yeah, he likes purple. I'm like, I'm a big fan of it too. And Danny's like, "Oh my God, you just walked into the wrong room. He's gonna go off about his jersey." And
let me just say this: I wasn't at either of these games, but I saw a fair amount of screenshots and stuff. Okay, I know Friday was Halloween. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Hey, St. Thomas, you've got the nicest rink in the state now. It's brand new. Sell some tickets. Come on, people.
How full?
There was.
No, it was pretty.
Dressed like a seat night.
There were good seats still available. Let's just say.
Was it? I think Saturday was in Mankato.
Yeah, Saturday was in Mankato.
Yeah, and Friday was.
I
St.
bet you
Thomas.
that was full.
Halloween.
Friday night. Yeah, it was Halloween night. I get it. There's a lot of stuff going on, but
people were talking about the St. Cloud game. They were sending screenshots. I'm like, you guys, you know who mostly goes to St. Cloud games? Families. You know what they're not doing on Halloween? Going to the game. They're trick or treating. Like, I wasn't at the game even.
This is a trend I will be
with my kid.
I put out a tweet once. This is not a tweet. I put something out on social media 20 years ago because it was a Friday night in October. Boston College ranked number 1 in the country playing at number 2 North Dakota. And they announced attendance at like 8,000 in an 11,000 seat building. And I'm like, come on. Number 1 versus number 2 in the country. You know, you're a great hockey school. How are you not selling 3,000 more tickets? And oh boy, did I get pushback from... But high school football. Oh, it's a big high school football night. Friday night. It says like, come on.
It is a little. That's a little.
I'm a huge Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders fan, but come on.
Even like hunting weekends, I feel like sometimes you can tell college hockey. They'll be like, "Why is attendance down?" I'm like, "Well,
I
go to Quick Trip
years.
Tonight. It'll be all the guys that are out hunting."
Yeah, I ranted for years. If you're the WCHA, I used to say this: why on earth would you have Duluth, Bemidji, any Minnesota teams at home on the opening weekend of deer season?
Yep.
Because a good portion of your fan base is at their deer camps or heading out to the deer stand.
Yeah.
So.
Ryan, were you say something?
I was going to say, to be fair to St. Thomas, I do know that Minnesota high school football is in playoffs right now. So they played Friday night.
Yeah.
But what does that have to do with a college kid in his dorm at St. Thomas? He's not going to go back to high school to watch
watch his alma mater?
I think it'll be different next year when they're in the NCHC. I do know that there was some concern at St. Thomas about filling that building this year. Because let's face it, Lake Superior State, Bowling Green, Ferris State, not pulling them in.
A traditional power in that
that's
conference.
what I'm saying. Minnesota State, neighborhood rival, come on. Sell some more tickets.
I had some people say that too about St. Cloud State. I'm like, well, Western's not like a big rival of St. Cloud. Like I don't think that many people, if you're not a college hockey fan, is going to be like, oh, Western Michigan's coming
but they're
here.
defending national champions.
No, I know, but if you don't know college hockey, you wouldn't.
Okay.
That's not a big game if you don't know college hockey.
You guys are using this high school football and deer hunting and stuff like that. You know what else it is? It's October. Like, people just are not
Doesn't feel
into
like
hockey.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it feels like
it's starting. It's starting.
We live
starting.
If you're going to go to a game in Grand Forks, it's got to be 17 below, blowing and drifting snow.
Yeah.
You've got to stop at the Red Pepper afterwards. I mean, there are certain protocols that need to be met here.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not trying to make excuses for the Gophers or UND or whatever, but like, I was talking to one of my friends who I would consider a very big hockey fan. He's like, and I was telling him about the Boston College game or something, one of these big games. He goes, I just really can't get into it until Thanksgiving. No. And I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Bob Motzko's pointed this out. College hockey season starts during the baseball playoffs, and it ends after spring training is done the next season. So,
Yes.
I mean, it's a long haul.
grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind. All right, let's keep
I'm sorry,
rolling.
I interrupted you.
No,
Sonny.
it's fine.
I don't even remember.
We
what
knew we
I was
were
talking
getting
about.
Willingham take care of it.
Oh, yeah. I think we were just talking about that. Yeah. Well, That's all I had on that series because I didn't catch a ton of those two games. I did watch a little bit of Minnesota-Wisconsin. Not super exciting, I will say. I was not very excited by watching the Thursday
Mike Hastings,
game.
That's exactly the way you want it. You don't want exciting hockey.
I was
you want
watching the
hockey.
Thursday game, and it was not exciting. But Minnesota swept by Wisconsin. Is it officially time to panic? It was 5-2 and 4-0. And I think I saw a tweet. I didn't check this for sure, but on X, it's the first time Minnesota's been swept back-to-back weeks in about 7 years, I think someone said. I don't know if I didn't fact check it, but it's been a while.
That sounds about right.
Because back-to-back weeks sweep, I mean, it's been a while since it's been like this.
What was the question about? Is it time to panic?
Is it time to panic? I mean,
are you kidding me? They won a shootout.
They
this
dropped
year.
from the.
They won a shootout.
Are
this
you
year,
still
so
holding on then with that? You're
I'm holding on to that. Is that okay? They won a shootout.
So Tony says no.
Here's the kind of snarky tweet that I sent out on Thursday night because I was covering the Wild and the Penguins, but I was switching over now and then. I had an iPad. I was checking in. Here's the tweet I sent out. Just turned on the Gophers game at Wisconsin for a minute. We've played 25 minutes. Minnesota has 4 shots.
Yep.
And the audience at the Kohl Center could fit inside Tria Rink. So, yeah, you're right. It was depressing.
It was.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like the Thursday games.
4 shots in the first 25 minutes.
I was watching like the replay of the Thursday game like Friday just in the morning, kind of in the background, and it was not an exciting game. But the game that they did score goals, it was Zemer and Mo, so some Minnesotans there. Logan Hensler scored for Wisconsin this weekend. The Thursday game, shots on goal were 43-16, and I believe it was the final, so not good.
16 shots. So in the last 35 minutes of the game, they had 12. After having 4
12
in the first. Yeah, that's just.
So it was, anybody have any guesses of who it was? Who swept Minnesota?
7 years ago?
Yeah.
Back-to-backs?
Yeah.
Probably
No
Wisconsin.
idea.
Same team, actually.
Wisconsin?
Well, who is
They
the
played
other one?
February 23rd and 24th. Penn State swept Minnesota at home in the regular season.
Oh, wow.
And then they played March 2nd and 3rd, 2018. Penn State swept them again in the Big Ten tournament.
0-0-1 weekend?
Yeah.
So they lost 4 games straight to
That
Penn
was
State.
.0001.
that was the year that they ended the season at Penn State and then had to go to Penn State for the first round of the playoffs. So they played 4 straight games against Penn
Lost them all.
State.
Sounds like St. Cloud and
0-4.
Duluth every year.
2018 it was, February.
This, by the way, this stat from our friends at Gopher Puck Live is after Thursday night. This doesn't count Saturday night's game.
Okay.
The numbers didn't get better, trust me. No. According to the stats, after Thursday night, Minnesota is 3 for 24 on the power play this season. That's a success rate of 12.5%, which is 45th nationally. And then on the penalty kill, they were 18 for 26, meaning opponents were scoring at a little about 31%, and that's 48th nationally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, I'm not ripping this Gopher team. I'm just throwing out numbers, but that's far below what
I did
what anybody
see
expected.
too. I should see if I bookmarked this tweet. I don't know if I actually did because it just brings me to my bookmarks instead of the actual tweet itself. But somebody was tweeting, and it was so funny. Like all the players that were out for the Gophers this weekend, there was a lot of guys that were out, and they were just like, "Oh, all these guys are out. I gotta watch this garbage on overpriced Big Ten Plus." And they were just like, it was just one of those tweets where it was like, "Oh,
Negative vibe,
it was,
right?
yeah," but it was
Here,
funny.
I found it.
Was
This is Minnesota Miracle Man tweets out.
yeah.
No Falloon, no Townsend, no Ludke, no Thomas, Axel Begley playing forward, Finn McLaughlin in the second pairing, Airy and net, forced to watch on an overpriced garbage Big Ten Plus. Let's do this.
Yeah. I saw that and just thought it was so funny because that was just.
Oh, Gopher fans, come on.
And I saw somebody
they're so
posted a
spoiled.
comment from Bob. It sounds like August Falloon might be out for a bit. I don't know what that is either. I know he's had some injuries in the past.
You want the good news?
Don't know.
Let's hear it.
Did you see the contract Logan Cooley got last week?
Yeah, that's good news.
That's yeah.
Okay, so I did some math. Logan Cooley, Brock Faber, Matthew Nyes,
Jackson Lacombe.
Jackson Lacombe. Those 4 guys. Those
It's
4 guys.
A lot of money.
Make their
Next
what's
year-
bigger, the GDP of a African nation or their salaries.
So next year,
Small
those
African
4
nation.
guys alone will be making more than $35 million for one season, starting next year. So, I joked about this in what I wrote in the Pioneer Press, but if Bob needs some improvements to the locker rooms, maybe, new coat of paint or something, might be time to get on the phone with few alumni and say, hey.
Hey, we need some help here.
Wow.
How about a little, something?
How about some players? How about that would be a good one?
Well, Tony, like you said, they want a shootout. So
they want to shoot
there's
out.
that.
They want to shoot out.
This is let me just say this though. This is an interesting season because, and we've talked about this, the Gophers didn't get in on the major junior train.
Yeah.
And at first I thought, maybe they're having trouble recruiting. And then you talk to Motzko and some of his people, and one of the things he said at the start of the season, I asked him about it. I said other programs are loading up and NIL deals and Gavin McKenna and all that, and he said, you know what? I like what we have in the locker room.
And the pipeline.
I like what we have in the pipeline. If we feel like we need to dive into that, we will. But he said he kind of compared it to the transfer portal. They've had, I think, 6 transfers in the 6 years it's been out there. They haven't done a ton in the transfer portal. Gotten some good players.
Yeah,
Matthew Wood was he's just got his first NHL goal. Cruikshank, just a couple guys here and there. They got the goalie from Penn State last year, Liam Souliere. So they've gotten a couple transfer portal guys, but maybe one a year on average. Where other teams are
getting a whole
just remaking their roster every year with the portal. Gophers haven't really played that game, and they've done okay. Haven't really played the major junior game. Now we're going to see, next year, all of a sudden, do they say, oh, boy, we got to go talk to the Edmonton Oil Kings and the Chicoutimi, whatever they are. And, yeah.
Oh, that was a good note on the junior hockey pod. We were trying to say that, and we're like, does anyone know how to say
Chicoutimi.
that? None of us. We're
I
like,
don't even know what you're talking
we're just
about.
going to say from
it's
the
a Quebec
queue.
major junior team.
We were just like, I'm just going to say
some
the
of those
queue,
I can't.
from the queue.
I don't even try.
I know Shawinigan.
Chicoutimi Sauganines. You know.
I don't even try.
You had a Sauganine at home when you were a kid, didn't you? I don't even know what it is.
I literally, when it gets to the queue, and
I just know Shawinigan.
I can't get them any. I can't get any of those.
Yeah.
Funny note, since we're talking
French.
about trying to learn other languages. Just a quick, this is a side note.
I don't know French.
I'm in the Wild locker room at Tria Rink today.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to talk to Jule Eric's neck. And Kirill Kaprizov sits next to him. Kirill came and sat down. Well, on the TV on the other side of the room, Wheel of Fortune is on.
Oh, God.
And Kirill is actually pretty good at figuring out.
Really?
And I said, is this how you learn English? No. I said, do you take lessons? No. He's just learning English by immersing himself in it.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, English is a tough language. He said, no, not that tough. He says, Russian much harder.
Really?
Really? I do Russian on Duolingo. It's not that bad.
But it was funny, seeing someone for whom English is not their native language trying to figure out Wheel of Fortune. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I feel like Sydney just dropped some random, just a random super cool fact. She's like, I play like 12. Play 12 instruments. I'm learning Russian.
You know who's on Duolingo? It says all the time, Kayla.
Oh, yeah.
It says she has a very long streak.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Kayla. I'm sure she's
147-day streak.
I believe
Russian.
I don't know what any
you
of
do.
Shout
I don't even know
out.
what they're
This is
saying
like
right
6-7.
Shout out.
I have no idea what's going on.
Duolingo.
And you're immersed in youth hockey all the time, and you're not up on that.
I have Russian
What
and
chance
German,
do I
but I'm
have?
not good at
Duolingo
German.
is just an app that teaches you how to speak languages in like a different way rather than the traditional
Kayla apparently
way.
is like a Duolingo legend, I guess.
Shout out
I
Kayla.
have thought it would be fun to just walk into the locker room sometime and know enough Russian to ask
I was going to say, I definitely don't know that.
Trennan or one of these guys a question in Russian and have them look at me. And the problem is then they'd answer me and I'd be lost.
No idea.
It says she's doing Spanish.
That makes sense. I mean, this is
I may have to get in on
real
this.
big side tangent, but Kobe Bryant used to learn other languages so he could trash talk guys in their native language.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I believe that.
So
Nice.
Wow.
I believe that.
I feel like nobody ever says
Matthew
English
Nyes,
is easy.
whose parents are Slovakian.
Really?
Yeah, his parents came over from Slovakia and moved to Arizona of all places.
Yeah.
But
Shout out
so he's
Slovakia.
Slovakian, and they go back. Like he was telling me, his grandmother comes and spends like a month with them every year in the winter. Arizona in the winter. Who doesn't want to be there?
Yeah, not
And
bad.
then in summers they would go over to Slovakia and spend time there.
I did
But
not know that.
the moral of this story: Gophers are playing a team. I can't remember who, but their big star was a Czech guy.
Yeah.
Might have been their goalie was a Czech. So after the game, I sidled up to Nyes and I said, "Be honest, did you trash talk him in his language?" He said, "Yeah, I did."
Really? That's good.
I feel like that'd always be funny if people just assume you didn't know it, and then you could like be like, I understood everything.
Yeah, I heard everything you said about me.
Yeah,
that's a deep dive there. We're like like 2 games in? Like, are we ever going to?
No, we're almost done. We're almost done. Okay.
Augustana, do they make the? They got it.
Yes. So we have 2 other teams to talk about. So Augustana, good weekend. I didn't have a ton of notables, not a ton of Minnesotans on the score shirt. But Augustana sweeps Northern Michigan 2-1 and 3-1. Not too notable of either games necessarily. But Joey Del Greco did score over the weekend. Josh Kotai in one of the games, 41 saves.
So he's back.
He's such an underrated goalie. I feel like he makes so many
he's
good.
Underrated?
Well, because there's all these big names every year, and then I feel like people know he's good, but I feel like every year I'm like, wow, he has a couple big games every weekend. He's got to make a lot of saves sometimes.
I shot a game with him over at St. Thomas last year. You know, and you're like,
there's some games
you're
he's
like
just
4 feet away from him. Over the glass at the old UST rink. I got so many good pictures
where
of
it's
him.
like negative 20 degrees over there.
Brutal. The ice box.
But that was that game. And then Bemidji State had an interesting weekend against Bowling Green. They have a 4-4 tie, technically a shootout win, and then an overtime win. So it took a little bit of extra. But they technically... I don't know if you can call that a sweep, but
not a sweep, but they got 4 points.
But kind of good to see Adam Fleming kind of just on fire after getting that scary injury earlier, because he had a goal, an assist, and the shootout game winner Friday, and then another goal Saturday.
I know, weekend.
Big weekend. Shout out St. Michael Albertville.
Yes,
love it.
Yes.
And then a guy who I didn't know from Bemidji State, non-Minnesotan, Hudson Thornton, game-winning goal the next day. And he actually had a goal and 2 primary assists. And he's one of those guys who played in the ECHL last year. One of those weird guys who played pro.
Doing well.
Now doing college hockey.
Thornton, yeah.
Played well this weekend, and it seemed like he did register, I think, an AHL game as well.
So Northern Michigan just recruited Jaromir Jagr to come back and play, by the way. Why not at this point?
Why not? I agree.
That'd be awesome. He comes and suits up for, like, Ferris State or something.
Yeah, that's what I said. Northern Michigan.
Yeah,
he's going to Marquette. He always wanted to live in the UP. Yeah. You know, what the heck?
You guys are bragging about
Stonehill.
Tweets that you saw. Like, I saw a tweet about this. I saw a tweet. It was Ernie. Tom Serratore was being interviewed, and he compared college hockey coaching to keeping up with his old broken down house. He goes, yeah, you fix the water heater, and you're all good for like 2 weeks, and then you go fix this. You're always fixing something when you're coaching a college hockey
You mentioned
team.
Stonehill, by the way? Stonehill sweater here?
Yeah, I love that.
I found this out just a couple days ago covering the Wild and the Penguins. Dan Muse, first-year head coach of the Penguins. He was an assistant coach at Yale in 2013 when they won their national championship. Yep. He's been around college hockey circles. He's been with the USA Hockey, with the under-18 program, all of that. Played at Stonehill back when they were a D2 or D3 program.
Shout out Skyhawks.
Really?
Yeah, shout out to the Skyhawks or whatever they were called.
Where is Stonehill? Is it in New York?
It's
in
outside
Massachusetts.
Boston.
Yeah,
it's like
suburban Boston.
Southwest of the city, I believe.
Skyhawks, by the way, sounds like a school that changed its nickname, doesn't it?
For sure they did.
Right up there with the Monticello Magic.
Or the Thunderhawks of Grand Rapids.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Well, we did
the
make it
Blaze
through...
of Burnsville there.
Yeah.
Got the sweater up there. Yeah.
We did make it through all the Minnesotan teams. Jess, you mentioned earlier Northeastern.
Yeah, Northeastern, red hot.
Huskies are red hot right now. They swept BC 4-1 and 3-0. Their goalie, I don't know if you pronounce it Zocker or Zacher, has just been incredible in net. I think he was a Null guy, too. Like, he wasn't this high-level prospect. I think he might have played for Austin, actually. I think that's why his name sounds familiar to me. Or might not? I'll have to double-check. I want to say it was one of the area ones.
Yep.
But he transferred in from Brown, and now he's got a .952 save percentage, 5-1 record, so tearing it up. Shout out Northeastern. And aside from sweeping BC, they also beat Denver, shut them out 1-0. So Northeastern's just kind of killing it. They've also beat Holy Cross and UMass, but get this, that their only loss is to Army.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, kind of strange, but they've been putting up really, really good results.
Army beat Northeastern.
By one.
No shame
it was
in
2-1.
No shame in losing to Army. You know
so
why?
It was close.
You know why there's no shame in losing to Army? They're trained killers.
I like that.
Think about it.
I like that.
Think about it.
Coach, I don't know his name, is also from Minnesota. Their new coach.
First year head coach, replacing the Rileys who had been there for literally since they invented rifles, I think.
I mean, Army and Air Force, you never know. They could just they play so hard. Anytime they beat somebody, I'm like not that surprised.
Not surprised.
If you get a chance, by the way, if you're on the East Coast and you got some time to kill, go see the West Point.
It would be
campus.
amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's stunning.
That would be amazing.
I mean, not a big rink, but it's a cool rink. Their football stadium's amazing, and it's It's up on a very high bank in the Hudson River.
Is it on Long Island?
No, it's straight up. It's straight up the Hudson River from New York City, about an hour.
Okay.
And here's how it got its name. On the west side of the river, there's a point that juts out into the river. They called it the West Point.
Right.
And now think about it. If you're defending the river from ships going up and down, that point is a perfect place
to get them,
to put cannons and stuff. So that was like the original Army placement there.
Is it true that it's easier to get to West Point via boat than car?
Probably, when you think
about
New York City traffic.
Yeah, I'm sure getting out of the city is.
And there's so on this point with the original West Point, they have a cannon from every conflict that the United States has fought, like going back to like the Revolutionary War all the way to, Desert Storm or the Gulf War or whatever.
At West Point?
At West Point on display, they have a cannon, just, showing how the technology has changed.
It's really cool.
It's a really cool place.
New Army head coach is Zach McKelvey.
Yep, he's from Minnesota. He's from Crystal.
New Brighton.
I knew he was one of those.
He is a Army grad himself, played a few years for the Providence Bruins.
Yep.
Has been on the coaching staff at Army since 2014 as an assistant.
Lawton Zacher, by the way, since we brought him up.
I was going to say, he's an old guy.
He's from Buffalo originally, played at the Nichols School Prep Hockey, Minot Minotauros.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's got to be Minot or Austin.
Big fan of Minot.
Well, I watched a decent amount of the St. Cloud Norsemen for a couple years around like the COVID time when they relocated to St. Cloud. And
sure.
I remember his name and a couple others, and other people we'll talk about later in the show. But
where did the Norsemen come from?
They were Alexandria.
Yeah, they were the Alexandria
Blizzard. And then they Blizzard.
Same owner. Yeah, okay, got it.
But after that, Northeastern's been hot, but a team that has not been doing super great, honestly, a little disappointed with them.
Talked to Gophers?
Denver
I know.
loses to Alaska Anchorage in overtime, and I will say, after watching UAA in person against St. Cloud State the week before, they are not a good team. They are not.
All right.
They are just not.
Also today in the Wild
sorry
Rock
to
room,
Seawolves fans. But
also today in the Wild Rock room, when Zeev Bouillon walked by, I just said, Anchorage? And he kind of rolled his eyes at me and sat down.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes me. That's fine.
Denver's had some weird results early, though. They had a tie/shootout win over Air Force. They've now lost in overtime to Anchorage, and they split with Lindenwood, and they were shut out by Northeastern.
This is not
a bit of an
Denver
odd
team.
start for Denver. I'm kind of confused, and also doesn't get easier. They play Western Michigan next, so they do not have an easy few weeks.
Things are never easy in Anchorage. I'll just say this, because it's a long way away.
Yeah.
It's a hard place to get players to come up there, and they've done the numbers on this. A lot of guys, go there for a year and say, nope, not for me, and they leave. During COVID, if you'll recall, they shut down that program. They just, we're not going to have a hockey program anymore. And then they talked about having one program divided between the two campuses. That would have been just not a good idea. So they basically started fresh and started anew and started basically a new program at Alaska Anchorage. To see them get a win like this, good for them. I mean, that's awesome. When we had written that obituary for their program, the fact that they're down here and they're competitive and doing all that travel and the kids are, putting up with it, good for them.
Yeah, it isn't easy.
Yeah, I like seeing them get wins. I was just surprised because after watching them at St. Cloud, I was not expecting these scores from Denver. So that makes me question Denver this year because
for now.
Well, because of all these other weird results they've had too early on. I'm not saying they're going to be bad because they still have a very good roster, but I'm real confused early on about the Pios.
Maybe this is why the rankings are so bad.
They must be because I'm so confused.
If you're a real ranker, you can just basically go grab like the 12 programs and just shuffle the deck. You're not going to be wrong.
A little weird.
Now you can't shuffle the deck because Denver lost to Anchorage.
Yeah. I got a couple more notes, and then we'll do some stuff on the polls and Summit scores as well. We mentioned this, I think it was on the first show, that Andy Slagert, he has officially departed Notre Dame after, I want to say it was like 37 years or something.
He's working for the Oilers now.
Working for the Oilers, director of their North American recruiting, I believe is what the title is. A guy named Tristan Musser hired in his place. I don't believe he's related to Carson in any way that we know of. It sounds like he was previously scouting for Buffalo, and then him and the current Notre Dame coach worked together in the USHL, so there was some familiar connections there from Chicago, the Steel there. So that was a notable, but now he's officially, I think, Slagert was at Notre Dame through the 31st of October. So that has happened. New RPI head coach Eric Lang gets his first dub. Love to see it, especially because we were just talking about AIC.
Came from AIC, and they
AIC.
decided to basically downgrade the program, and he got the job at RPI. And
I'm trying to look up their other schedule here for RPI, but for them, that was kind of a big one because they beat Union, who's a bit of a rival there, so they split, but he got his first win then because otherwise they kind of had a hard early schedule. RPI played Miami, BC, Providence, Mankato, and then an exhibition against BU early, so they did not have an easy start of the season.
Find out a lot about your team in October.
Wow, but gets his first win, so congrats to him.
They tried to copy Penn State's schedule. They just did the opposite.
Yeah, opposite.
Yeah, I said it. Come at me.
Okay.
This was a tweet that I saw. I did not check the credibility of this, but somebody said that it sounds like Omaha might not have their road jerseys in yet. They're just wearing their whites right now.
What?
So they got to play all the games.
Yeah,
at home.
somebody tweeted that they were playing the whites against CC, and they had to ask CC if they were okay with it, and they said yes, so they were wearing their whites.
I could make
sounds like a youth hockey tournament.
It's just a layup for a joke about a jersey manufacturer.
So I don't know what the
hopefully whoever
deal is, or if
them
that's
doesn't
true,
get-
or if it was just one game, or I don't know. But I saw an Omaha fan tweet that and thought that was interesting.
I can get to the bottom of that one pretty quick.
So
Yep.
don't know about that, but I feel like that would make sense then if you're like, why are they wearing their home jerseys? Okay.
That's insane.
So we'll see if there's any updates on that. Tony, you sent me this, and I saw this as well. Miami, who this was, I think, supposed to be their guy, their goalie this year. Their freshman goalie, Shika Gadjeev, I believe is how you say his name.
Pretty
He's
good.
Russian.
I'll give you a 10 on that
He's
one.
a Russian. They keep asking Coach Nareen if there's any updates. It sounds like he's not eligible right now. If there's an update, and he just said no update.
No update.
So
I
have to assume it's an academic thing. It must be.
Has to be.
I assume. I don't know. He is from like Russia, but not mainland Russia. I looked it up. He's from Dagestan. He's not from like Moscow.
I don't know.
It's like
all right. Well,
very south part. It's like basically by all the other countries.
We're gonna
stands.
a little quick note. I am an avid UFC fan, and there's quite a large fighting pool from Dagestan.
It's like by Georgia.
So it's like you're basically like.
It's not like Moscow. It's not.
I don't
want to
say you're like not first world, but it's very
rural,
rough. We'll call
rough
it
and rural.
Rough and rural.
Yeah.
And
rough and rowdy.
Can I just say this too? This idea. Well, no update. If you're the coach, come on, knock it off. I had another
mainstream media guy here.
I had another coach at another school, top young player, freshman of the year in their conference. He's a sophomore now. All of a sudden, Saturday night he's not in the lineup.
Why?
What's up with
player A?
Jimmy Johnson, Joe Schmo. He's out.
Yeah,
not enough. Doesn't do it for us. It's like, come on, you can't just. You gotta provide.
I'm just
gonna
publish. If you don't tell me, I'm just gonna publish what.
And, I mean,
I tweet a DM.
I still get crap from people in a certain circle about this because it's all on video. But I said, okay, he's out, injured, disciplinary. What's going on? And the coach looked at me and said, "Disciplinary? Are you crazy?" Threw it back at me. It's like, no, just.
Then just say
all you have to say is he's banged up a little.
Don't make me speculate.
I'm not asking you to give me the doctor's chart on what's wrong with him. Just say dealing with an injury. That's all we need to know. But you can't just say he's out. So this no update. Come on, knock it off. Just say we're having eligibility issues or whatever.
I feel like it has to be probably academic then, but because there isn't any description, I don't know. But sometimes those guys who are kind of from random places, I'm like, is it academic? Did they not? Take the classes. Did their English?
Did he not play enough games in the ECHL last year to qualify for college hockey now in the new world?
That's my point.
But because where he's from is basically, if you look it on the map, it's next to Georgia and Azerbaijan. It is not mainland, like mainstream city Russia. It is like.
I should also
not that.
I forgot to it's very religious, like Russian.
Orthodox
Muslim.
Yeah. Muslim. Interesting.
Yeah, they're basically one of the stands.
And they're blocked off by the mountains.
Nel Yakupov was from that area as well.
Yeah,
You're right.
It's not like when people are like, "Oh, I'm from Moscow." You're like, "Oh, that's like one of the main places."
It's similar to like Chechnya, which is a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's like you hear somebody's from there, you're like, ooh.
Closer to Azerbaijan. Yeah.
Halak, similar to Halak.
So I don't know what the deal is.
We're
with
not
that.
taping this, are we?
The Hannons just got smashed.
We will see if he ends up taking the ice. I don't know. He's a good goalie, so we'll see. I don't know. Another player who has not seen the ice yet this year, Cole Spicer, was supposed to last minute go to Western Michigan. Has not played yet for them. Don't know if he's still fighting the... I know with academic stuff, sometimes you need a semester then to be eligible again. So I don't know maybe if he'll be a second half. Don't know. I tried looking up his name on Twitter. Did not get any extra info.
You're not going to find anything there.
But then just a couple other notable scores I thought I would throw out there. Cornell splits with UMass, Big Red. UMass Lowell splits with Providence. Maine, shout out Black Bears, sweep BU. One game went to overtime, but they sweep BU. Arizona State and Miami split. And Omaha, shout out Omaha Homies, sweep Colorado College, who are still in the rankings.
How?
Every year people have like this thing like it's going to be the year for CC, and I'm just like, what have they done? What have they done?
They have that block plan there, where you take one class at a time for like 3 weeks. So I don't think I think you have to go 3.5 weeks in the poll before they can vote you out. I think that's part of it.
They have to.
That's just me speculating.
They're terrible.
So, I don't know, because if you look at the rankings right now for NCHC teams in the polls, I'll just do a little poll tangent here. CC is at 20, and then it goes the top receiving votes. Miami, for some reason, again, I've talked about Miami.
Miami lost a game yet?
I like Miami. They have to Arizona State.
Okay, all right.
Miami, top receiving
Shout out
votes.
Sun Devils right there.
And then Omaha, and then St. Cloud. And I'm like, are any of these voters watching the NCHC games?
No.
Because I love Miami too, but like they also don't have any big wins.
None.
They have
Zero.
wins, but they don't have big ones yet. So I'm like, what are we doing here? And also CC, what? Omaha should have flipped with them this week. Like, what are we doing?
They did not watch.
And St. Cloud, I'm not saying should be high. I thought maybe they'd be 20 or 19 this week, but they just put up 10 goals on Western. Like, what are we voting for here, people? Like,
well, there's your bias. Are we
watching?
Here comes your biase.
Are we watching?
Bias. Shh. But I agree with you.
And I saw some other people too
that
say
technically would be 9 goals,
Duluth is
they
above.
lost 5-4,
Duluth is above
whatever.
North Dakota still, and I saw some people were a little questioning that as well.
Duluth is below North Dakota. North Dakota poll I saw today was 5, and
Duluth
maybe
was
in
8. In one poll there.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's
because I was looking
5?
at USCHO, I think it was.
I was looking at USCHO.
You were looking at USC. Okay. Because I think on one
North
of them.
North Dakota's 8 on here. I don't believe they should be higher than 12.
North Dakota?
No.
On USCHO, that was the women's one. Oops, on that one.
Poll. Let's see.
Oh my gosh, got to get through all the D3 ones first. Yeah, Minnesota Duluth is 7, and North Dakota is 8.
Yep.
So some fans were a little like
Minnesota Duluth has 8 wins. North Dakota
also
has 5.
like Denver with all their weird losses already this year, still 9. Again, I'm just like, what?
That's bewildering to me.
There's just some results
and then
on
undefeated Wisconsin comes in at 10.
So confused. Yeah, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, this is oof.
Or just like, again, 3 people are voting Penn State as 1. What? Like, why?
Because they're the shiny team.
Shiny.
I'm not saying Penn State won't be good later in the
success.
year, but like right now, Penn State is not 1. Like maybe this spring they will be. Not right now. Just like, who's voting? Like, reveal yourselves, please. Show me your ballots.
So,
and I will say,
Western
I
Michigan
tweeted
is
this.
3, right?
I tweeted this early, and I said, thoughts? Maybe it's
Michigan
just me,
State,
but
Michigan
I don't
number
get this.
1.
So many people liked that tweet already. I just said, I don't get multiple things about this pod. I really don't. Or not about the pod, about the poll.
No.
I don't get
it. Say about us.
A lot of people are commenting too, like, I'm very confused. I think Schloss liked that tweet too, so maybe he's looking at this going like, wasn't me.
Yeah.
Because I know he watches the games, so I don't know who's voting.
It doesn't make any sense. Maybe they'll get it right next week. We're going to get it right next week for sure.
But there's that.
We do like combo, like I put my 20, you put your 20, and then we get it. We
average it or something.
average it out. I like
Or should we just do even like top? Maybe they're ranking too many
teams.
teams.
20.
20?
Do the 20.
Well, okay, so maybe we'll do that next week. But we had a bit of news that we wanted to bring up a little bit, and then we'll probably talk about it more on a future show.
Crazy story.
But it's a crazy story, and at this point, a lot of people are starting to catch on. So it's not like it's a hidden story anymore at this point, but there's just updates, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, and then I think, Tony, in a later show, we might talk some more about it.
Right.
But how much are we going to talk about? today, because this has been kind of an ongoing thing and it's starting to kind of come to light a little more.
So I'm going to keep it extremely
And we have to say
level.
this is all, before we get into this is all allegedly. For legal reasons, this is allegedly.
Okay, so there was an assault made that's been well documented on the University of Minnesota campus to a hockey player, which will not be named today. A person has been arrested and charged, but not proven guilty.
In this particular assault.
Yep, in this particular
There was
assault.
video of it. I saw a video posted where they were trying to identify the assailant.
Yep, so the
and
person,
it didn't take long.
The person who was arrested and charged but not found guilty is a former high school hockey player, Tanner Rausch from Armstrong Cooper.
And you can, and again, people might be like, oh, are you saying his name? You can look it up. He has been booked into the jail.
It's public knowledge.
On probable cause.
Which just makes this even more mysterious.
And he played college hockey too.
At Hamlin last year, we played 8 games, I believe. Which just makes this even more bewildering. We don't have enough facts yet.
Confused.
I do have a lot of information about this instance, about this specific case. I'm not going to share it quite yet until some more information comes out.
I'll just say this. I traded texts with the injured player and said, heard what happened. I would be interested in writing the story of your comeback. Got a nice note back from the player, but it sounds like it's going to be a long road back. It sounds like there's some pretty serious injuries and hasn't played this season, obviously. The assault happened in September.
Mid-September.
Before they had played a game. Tony, you and I talked about this. Sadly, not the first time this has happened. Back in 91, 92, there was a Gopher player that was at a party, it sounds like. And was,
Southwest kid.
Was assaulted.
It wasn't on campus, though. It was
and never played again. I mean, ended his career.
Mills.
Yeah, Andy Mills.
Good friend of mine, good family friend. I mean, I've known both the Mills brothers. They were all in my age group. Andy was a kid. He came into the U, and it was kind of a walk-on, and played so well that he was well on his way to a scholarship. I remember back in the day, it was Southwest and Edison would play in the Andy Mills years, and they would go back and forth, Mills versus Dietzick, and it was some fun hockey to watch. Andy was a good player, and his career was ended by one of these fights. So
I'll say this too. Maybe this is the elephant in the room that has been brought up, but I was not there a couple weeks ago at Gopher Hockey Media Availability. A TV crew from one of the channels here in the Twin Cities showed up, asked Motzko about this player and his injuries and the alleged assault, asked him point blank, and then brought up the notion and asked, Coach Motzko, do you feel players are safe on campus? Let's face it, Minneapolis is a big city. Yeah. It's got crime like every other city has. We unfortunately hear stories of crime in Dinkytown, of assaults, of shootings, I went and looked through the U of M PD police report for the night of this assault, and a lot of stuff in there, a lot of stuff that you don't want your kids involved with, or anything like that. Motzko, I guess, was very defiant and said, I absolutely feel safe on campus. But let's be honest here. When folks are recruiting Minnesota high school kids, don't think that non-Gopher teams are not saying to kids, hey,
for sure,
do you want your kid to go live in Minneapolis? Look at all this stuff that's happening there. I'm absolutely sure there is negative recruiting happening.
Oh, yeah.
As a result of this. And that's not to say, violence can't happen anywhere.
We don't know about this incident. Right. Like, if it was just completely random. We don't know if it was connected to something. No idea.
Right.
No clue.
I will say, as
Sydney, in fairness, St. Cloud has
people say that about St. Cloud.
Has had its share of crime. My son lived on 4th Street in Duluth. Any stuff happened there when he was in college. So it can happen truly
any
anywhere.
Campus in the
There's not a college in the country that doesn't have a campus police force, and there's a reason for it.
I lived on the U of M campus for 3 years. A couple years ago, stuff would happen all the time.
Yep.
No different than any other city I've ever been to, where you just got to be aware of your surroundings and your own personal well-being.
I do think, though, in the wake of George Floyd and some other things that have happened here in Minnesota, there's an idea out there, there's a notion out there that Minneapolis is a dangerous
People
place.
are hyper aware of everything.
And if you're, I'll pick a school that doesn't have a hockey team just to be safe. If you're the University of Wyoming recruiting a kid that is also looking at Minnesota, don't think you're not saying to that kid,
correct.
Oh, but
football
kids
or something.
Yeah, I will say this. The information I do know about this player will likely play hockey for the U of M this semester.
That's awesome. Great. That's fantastic.
Okay.
That is
cool.
what I've gleaned out of this. This player will play this semester.
Good deal.
So we're hoping to reveal some more details at some point, but obviously we don't want to just go out and say everything in a way that's
would be one
not
of those,
appropriate and like saying it before people are ready.
Yeah, the case is still open.
I would say this is one of those, I would rather be second to the story than first and then get anybody in trouble, get anyone in bad situation. I'll just be happy to play.
If this person wants to tell their story, I'm sure they will let everybody know.
In fairness, too, to the University of Minnesota and to Minneapolis. Negative recruiting happens for myriad reasons.
Yeah.
Don't think that Wyoming, again, hasn't said to a kid, why the hell would you want to live in Grand Forks, North Dakota? It's 1,000 below zero there.
Right.
Don't think they haven't said, why would you want to go to Arizona State? It's 110 there. You know, I mean, it's like there's a reason to denigrate any school that's out there.
There's
find a negative anywhere.
Yeah.
There's a list of them.
But obviously, we will probably have an update on that at some point whenever more information is available. But we want to be sensitive to all the people involved. And like we said, too, it's still an ongoing case. So everything we have said is allegedly because it's still, a thing that's in progress legally. So I'm sure when there's more details, we will let everyone know, obviously. But in progress. Just lately, people are starting to figure some more things out, too.
There's an arrest. There's a mugshot.
Yeah, we thought we'd bring it up a little more, at least mention it on the show today, because people are starting to talk about it.
Yep.
So
yep.
We will have more information at some point.
And the assailant has been charged, so
yes.
There. But generally they don't name victims of crimes. So.
Correct.
Yeah, it said the University of Minnesota PD is holding him on probable cause for assault.
Yep.
So we already know that. So that has happened. Obviously, we hope that player heals up and will be able to play because we don't like violence in any form. It is bad, and hope he can play soon.
Even brother-on-brother violence in the
even brother-on-brother violence.
We don't approve of that.
We don't want anyone getting hurt. We do not like it.
The St. Cloud State Twitter account tweeted the picture of them standing next to each other in warm-ups.
Oh, it was before the game, too. Yep.
There's a single reply to the Twitter post, and it's just, how'd that work out?
Yeah, they took like a picture before Friday, and then it was like not even a period into the game that happened. And
that is
moms in tears, Thanksgiving's on the rocks.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't see a replay of that.
I couldn't find it.
I think the Brett Larson show is Monday night, so I'll have to listen to it tonight and with Jim Erickson and see if Brett gives any other details on it, because I don't know what happened.
Lower body.
Yeah,
right? Lower body.
I just heard I think lower body, but I'll have to see if he gives any more details. But otherwise, Tony, do you want to do Summit scores here?
Yeah, let's rip through some. I did them last night.
There was a lot of guys, some names that we don't typically see that much too. Carter Batchelder, Lake State, times 2.
Where did he play high school?
Eden Prairie.
Eden Prairie, that's right. I recognize that name. Great player. Yep.
Times 2.
Dad's from Bemidji, Toby.
I thought I would bring this up. We already mentioned Austin Bernovic, but I will say, if you don't count the ECAC teams that have played 2 games, currently leading the nations in goals per game. Shout out Minnesota. Love to see it.
We introduced Sydney to this show in a really down St. Cloud State year. Now I'm seeing
she was just festering.
The real Sydney will come out.
A couple of other St. Cloud guys who you don't see on the score sheet all the time. Thor Bufflin had a goal.
Love
to
Thor.
see it. A couple
Great
other guys
kid.
we'll get to later. One of your favorite players, Tony.
Cookie
again. Like every weekend now.
He's my guy.
Princeton.
I love it.
And Bentley. Shout out. You're wearing your Bentley
Sporting the
merch.
Bentley colors today.
That's right. That's right.
My buddy Dan Rubin, who does radio for them, he'll be proud of you doing rocking the Bentley.
Really, my best friend Andy Jones is the head coach. Have I told you that before?
I think you brought that up.
Okay, just want to make sure.
North Dakota's.
I figured he was
Cody
a sponsor
Kroll?
of the show by now. He comes up so much.
Pretty much.
Isn't Cody Kroll North Branch?
No, North Branch Association, but I think he's like from Scandia or.
Wow, so we got like Princeton, we got North Branch, we got a lot of. That's
those
cool.
2 are legendary.
We already talked
And
about
Jack
Fleming.
Harvey was another one of those kids in there from BU.
Stacy, yes, Stacy, Minnesota.
That's the one. He's from
Stacy.
Stacy. That's the yeah.
Yeah, a couple of other guys we've already talked about. Hayden Cruz, UAF. That's like Nisswa, Minnesota.
Brainerd kid, yeah.
Don't know many people who are from I think it said Nisswa on the roster. I was
Yes.
like, wow, I don't see that often.
Suburban Brainerd.
Yeah.
Nisswa's now like the halfway between Brainerd and Pequot. So a lot of those Nisswa kids are playing for Northern Lakes now.
Okay, gotcha. A lot of other repeat people on the list that I don't need to mention all the time. Ryan O'Neill, St. Thomas.
Yep, that's a new one. Mason Reiners.
Mason Riders had one. Jack Ryman, we said ×2.
And Roley had 2 goals.
He did have 2. I saw that. That's wild.
Tyler Rowagan.
Jens Richards.
That's a good one. So last
and
year,
his roster says Callaway, Minnesota. Did you know that?
It's DL.
Crazy. I know,
DL.
but it says Callaway.
So here's a good story. We're Tom Kupich and I are in Fargo or Moorhead for the state youth tournament.
Yep.
So we're at we go to this bar, and between it was like a 2:00 game and a 6:00 game. So we're like 2 hours. Let's go get something to eat. We go downtown Fargo, this little taco bar or whatever, and we walk in, and there's the Concordia girls team. Women's team. And there's like half of them from Warroad. At least 6 of them from Warroad. So
it's a good pipeline there, yeah.
And they literally told like Tony Scott. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. College girls, whatever. We go talk to them. Like, oh, I know you, Ruley, and Hardwick, and I kind of do that deal.
Sure.
Take a deep breath, and we go sit down. Like 2 seconds later, this guy walks up to me, and he's got a Holy Family cross country skiing hat on. I'm like, why is this guy coming up to talk to me? And it was Richard's dad. He runs a cross-country ski camp, and he does off-season, on-season, and they come up to Detroit Lakes. He had just flown in from Vermont where he was watching his kids play or his kid play for them, and he was going through the whole thing. He goes, I can't believe I'm running into you here. And I'm like, I can't believe I even remember who you are.
That's great.
Super nice guy.
Small world.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to look up. I thought Vermont had a good weekend this weekend too. Yeah, they split with New Hampshire. It's
not bad.
Good for them.
We don't know what either of those teams are yet.
Not really. Yeah. Couple other names on here. Nick Sajovic, Air Force, scored. That's a nice one. Jack Smith's had a couple for Mankato now. That's been a kind of nice transfer for him to score a couple.
Montreal draft pick.
Sully Scholey, Maine again. Schumacher's been on this list like every week for Mercyhurst.
My gosh. He's their guy.
Connor Smith Union, both Thorsons.
Yeah, I love when you get the back-to-back brothers, or when you do
both Thorsons.
Jossie does the women's one now, but I loved it when I would do.
Yeah.
I would be doing the scores, and then I'm like, brother, and then a sister would score in the same night.
Both Thorsons. I don't know if it was Gunner's first of the year. I think it was Gavin's. Not his first point, but first goal, I believe it was of the year. And Gavin's was a weird one. He shot it and it went off like a skate sharp angle and went in. It was a weird one.
He'll take it.
But then a bunch of other just familiar people, and I thought this week for
William
APX.
Whitelaw now has officially scored for 3 teams in 3 years.
Yeah, he had a pretty good night actually for Western on Friday when they won. I think he had one plus 2
Has that been done?
He was at Wisconsin. Was there a stop in between?
Michigan last year.
Oh, that's
I think he was 1 plus 2 Friday or 1 plus 3.
You should know that because anyone ever done that before?
3 schools? Wow. Yeah. Of course, there was multiple this year.
Goal in 3 different uniforms.
A lot of the guys that are multis a lot of times don't have.
I know William is different though.
But yeah, he had a good night Friday too. Had quite a few points, 3 or 4, I want to say. But then I was kind of looking through. I was like, oh, who should I pick for the APX Player of the Week? And I thought I would shout out Broughton Sabo, transferred from UAF to Ohio State.
Speaking of Alaska.
This offseason, and he's been doing pretty good for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, he has. I watched a little bit of that Penn State game. Ryan and I were at the bar watching that on Thursday night when they blew the lead against Penn State.
Yeah, not necessarily maybe the outcomes that they wanted, but he's been doing pretty good. He's one of those guys who I watched quite a bit actually with the Norsemen because he played with the Norsemen for a long time in the Knoll at St. Cloud. Eventually got his commitment to go play for Fairbanks, which I remember interviewing him on the phone going, you've played, within 2 hours of Rosemont for pretty much your entire life. You're going to Fairbanks now. That's going to be pretty different.
Big shock to the system.
pretty crazy, but he played 2 years there, had a good year last year. Now he's playing at Ohio State. He's got 4 points in 8 games.
So I saw a TikTok or reel recently, and it was about the effect that Jalen Rose, the name Jalen, has had on the world. There's never been a name of Jalen anywhere documented until he was born. And then once the Fab Five hit. And
Jalen Rose, basketball player at the University of Michigan, played in the NBA.
It explodes.
There's Jalen's everywhere now.
There's millions of Jalens have been named since Jalen Rose, right? Broughton is Broughton Sabo's name. And I'm certain that his dad, Kevin, named him after Neil Broughton.
I think when I talked to him on the phone, that's what he said. And he said 100%. Anybody who wasn't a hockey person was what is your name?
Correct. But anyone who is knew exactly what it is. I wonder if there will be, will there be that same effect?
We made
I think
this.
you might be the only one.
Maybe. I don't know any other bronze.
We told a similar story back, when he was winning the Hobie Baker Award, but Dryden McKay, Minnesota State.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
If you name your kid Dryden, they're going to be a goalie. I mean, it's almost like
but he
required.
was named after him.
Absolutely, he was. Yeah.
Yeah. That just blew me away.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
I thought it was a total coincidence. And then the more you get into it, like, no, that was not a coincidence. No chance.
Yeah, no.
I think his dad played goalie too, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah.
He did, yeah.
Yep.
Well, so that was the one I wanted to shout out for APX Athlete, and we got some other good stuff on APX. If you go to apx-hockey.com, got a lot of good features, and I got a lot of good high school features on some different players, some girls ones coming up soon.
Really?
So if you want to get hyped for the season, I've talked to a lot of girls players here over the last week.
This is not APX related, but it is your job related.
Yeah.
According to Jossie, you have built a Minnesotans in NCAA, and you can find all of that on
just for this year. I don't have historical. I'm not going to do historical. That is too much of a lift, and I think you guys might be working on that because I can't do that by myself. So I just had the one for this year for men's and women's, just so people could look at it and see high schools.
Olivia's like 800 away. She's like 3,500.
I was going to say, I'm not doing historical. It's way too much.
Wes, I just called you Wes again. There we go. I did it again.
My stage name, Wes.
I did it again.
Dude.
You guys can take the historical one. I'm not doing that.
So
can I be Wes Nessman? As like a throwback
Olivia's
to the
got
old
800
WKRP.
names to go. 3,500 men have played Division I hockey.
3,500.
That are from Minnesota.
Oh, is she doing what I did for the...
Just a little bit of that, like research, but she's been doing it for like 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd take me so long. I'm not doing that.
The best part is, like, she knows nothing, right? So she's got, like, St. Cloud State guys from, like, the 1950s. I'm like, we'll fix that later.
Wait till the D1 era. Just wait till the D1.
Clean that up in post.
Right, we'll just get that later. I just keep going. Just keep going. But it's going to be fun. We're going to have every recruiting class of when they entered college as their freshman year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't have nearly. I'm not doing the historical because, like you said, that's like a year's worth project. I just did this year because, and even just this year took so long. I'm like, I'm not doing historical.
It's funny, like
it takes so long.
Because I do the men's summit scores. I don't even look. I just know
the women's didn't take as long, but the men's one took definitely some time because then I wanted to put to like what high schools did they play for. I didn't put years because like then again that's going to take me another
that's good
many hours. So then if people like that, then keep their eye out for your guys' historical, and then that data will actually be somewhere, which is good.
Gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
A lot of that
and
stuff
it'll
is
be
missing.
wrong too, because of.
There'll be errors.
Do you remember
People
the
find
freshman
errors.
rule? Remember that?
Oh, sure.
Where they couldn't play their freshman
Mike
year?
Surdich couldn't play his freshman year.
That's going to be the worst. That's going to be the worst. That's not his freshman year. That's a sophomore year. I'm like,
I've already had people message me too and be like, that person's not a Minnesotan. When I have like in the first line of the story or the second or the first paragraph, whatever, it says, here's my definition of Minnesotan.
If they
played high school hockey here or
from
list their hometown as Minnesota, I don't care about anything. If they're actually from Wisconsin, I don't care. There's
some gray area. Like
so
Jenny Klein is gray because she never really played
like there's
here,
some players like that where I'm like,
this is throwing Tony off because he
whatever.
doesn't think Damon Gardner's from Minnesota. So
yeah, like I put him on my list.
All right.
I would count him.
He's on my list as high school Warroad, but then his hometown is listed as Eagle Lake, Ontario. Okay. So it says Eagle Lake, Ontario.
Yeah, and 2 stints in Warroad gets you in for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
If you played high school,
but then
he's in the rare boomerang club.
But then I separate from Tony because I did not list the Henricks brothers because they did not play high school here and they do not list their hometown as
Shattuck
Minnesota.
Does not
it says
count as
Mission Viejo,
here.
California.
Shattuck does not count as a high school?
No, I counted public high school only.
Yes, okay.
Because Shattuck
MSHSL.
has everybody. If you were born in Minnesota and played for Shattuck, you're on the list. If you're not from Minnesota, you played at Shattuck, you're not on the Minnesotans list.
Yep.
High school, though. That's an important caveat
MSHSL.
because that would take out St. Thomas, Hill Murray, et cetera, and we don't want that because a lot of those guys are from here.
Because pretty much everyone at Shattuck lives at Shattuck.
Yep.
But
yeah,
it's a lot of asterisks, but I've had people message me already. I'm like, read my description of Minnesotan, please, before you message me. Thank you.
Dom Anthony, right? He's from Minnesota, Warroad, but plays at Shattuck where his dad played.
Controversial that you say he's from Warroad. Oh, boy.
APX athlete.
Oh, that's right.
Family was from...
His
Baudette area.
He's from Baudette.
Then
I'll give you that.
Then
He's
moved to
from Baudette.
Warroad because Wake of the Woods, Baudette did not have a girls program. So
Right.
they wanted their girls to play.
Yep.
Yeah, so very controversial.
Dom Anthony, APX athlete, shout out.
Yes, he is. There you go.
Good for
There
him.
you go.
And
I
he's
want to
at,
say he was player of the month in June or July.
and he's at Shattuck now, correct?
He's a Shattuck. Yep.
Yeah. And his dad is from Faribault originally, so
Yes.
yeah, kind of
A true Fariboltian.
yes,
If that's
yes,
a word.
I did see, by the way, Class 1A or Section 1A. Faribault's picked for last, so come on, Falcons, pick it up. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've been relevant. It's been a while.
Well,
That's for sure.
That's a lot of what we had for content, but we do have some upcoming games. I'm just going to read these off, and then if you guys have any hot takes or predictions, let me know.
Okay.
Starting with the Minnesota teams, Minnesota will play Notre Dame this weekend, so Big Ten game there.
That's got to be the two worst teams in the Big Ten, isn't it?
I think
They're the only ones that aren't nationally ranked.
Yeah.
5 of the 7 teams are nationally ranked.
Yeah.
Those 2 are not.
A lot of conference games being played. St. Cloud State will be at Minnesota Duluth. Again, that's a big test for St. Cloud. If they split with Duluth and they're not ranked again, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah,
so.
break something.
But with Duluth
We will
too,
break something on this show if that happens.
if you're Duluth too, you got to prove yourself after the weekend at North Dakota and have a big weekend this weekend against St. Cloud. So that'll be fun. St. Cloud and UMD always play entertaining.
Little
UMD's
dating
hosting?
Little dating tip,
At
by the way.
Duluth, yep.
Dating tip.
Little dating tip.
Since we're all married, I'd love to have a dating
If you
tip.
don't hunt deer, if you're not a hunter at all, you're a guy looking to meet single ladies.
Yeah.
Go to Duluth this weekend. Go to a couple of those hockey games because,
You're saying I
as
should
we
go
mentioned
cover the
before, a good portion of the male
hunting.
population will be gone hunting, and there may be a lot of single ladies there
I
just
like
looking
that.
to meet
Ryan,
someone
you should
new.
Go shoot the games this weekend.
I was going to say, who's going up there?
There's a single one.
Friend of mine from Duluth who was not
Bring
a
that
hunter.
400 lens up there, and you'll be pressing them all.
Male friend of mine from Duluth who was not a hunter always said opening weekend deer season was the best weekend to go to the bars because there's all these women there by themselves.
I like it.
Cause
It's such a northern Minnesota thing.
And not to be misogynist, not that women do not hunt deer. I mean, a fair
do.
amount do. My daughter has killed deer in her
I
life.
will volunteer as one who does not.
Yep. Some people don't, but it's certainly not a male only pursuit, but it is still male dominated. Let's say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, St. Cloud and Duluth always play close games, so that'll be interesting to watch because I feel like they always play each other 1,000 times every year because they always meet in the playoffs too
Yeah.
for NCHC. So that'll be interesting for both teams. Kind of again another early in the season kind of test for both. What are we getting from both of these teams this year? I don't know. We'll see. North Dakota goes to Omaha. Omahomies, here's your chance. Another big series. If they split and they're not ranked,
split.
I'm going to be
Yeah,
mad
it'd
for
be a
them.
joke. Those two, and I think those teams will get a split too.
So we'll see. Minnesota State takes on Bowling Green. They'll be looking for all those points. Same with Bemidji State. They take on Lake Superior State. They'll be looking for those points. Same with Augustana, but they travel to Ferris State. So again, the Minnesota teams will be looking to take those points. St. Thomas is off this weekend until they play a weird Tuesday game against St. Cloud at the La Pas.
I like that name.
The La Pas.
La Pas.
Lee and Penny.
Because St. Thomas played one game at the Herb earlier, so now they're going to play a random Tuesday game on the 11th.
I like that.
So St. Cloud will kind of have a long week. They got to play Duluth, which is going to be a tough one, and then they got to play St. Thomas on Tuesday, and that'll be kind of a rematch.
Let's check out the La Pas that night.
St. Cloud is going to want that game back.
I do plan on going to that one.
St. Cloud's going to want that game back badly, too, because that first game of the season was probably their worst game they've played this year. So that's probably going to be interesting.
A couple more big ones. Wisconsin at Michigan this weekend.
You got that one on there?
The red hot Badgers against Michigan, which is ranked number 2 in the country, and then
undefeated Badgers.
The battle of Gavin McKenna, Penn State at Michigan State this weekend. So a couple of big ones.
Did they fight over him?
Oh yeah, oh god, they had McKenna was in East Lansing. They had his name painted on a rock there, all this stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot
and then
about
he
that.
decided, no, I want to be a knit.
You know what? That is some data I'm not jealous I didn't know. I really don't want that data.
I mean, recruiting.
Some things you're like, oh, I wish I'd have known that. I'm glad I didn't know that. I really am.
A few other big games, some Eastern hockey games here. Maine plays UMass. I didn't update this with the polls this week, but last week that would have been a 12-13 matchup. I don't know what it would be this week. UConn plays Providence, which again, that would have been a fairly close matchup. I don't know their place in the poll this week.
And UConn ranked.
UConn was 9 last week.
Okay,
I don't know what they were
should
this
be ranked.
week.
Yep.
And then in an NCHC matchup, I previously mentioned this already, Denver and at Western Michigan. Playing at Lawson is tough. If Denver loses again, they need to slide down in the polls because those early season results are not good.
So Minnesota is host. So we got games in Dinkytown.
Yep.
We got games in Duluth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What about Bemidji?
You have games in Bemidji and in Mankato as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Brilliant scheduling for the opening weekend of your season. Come on.
Then.
Augustana is away. St. Thomas is off until Tuesday.
Who's Mankato play?
Mankato plays Bowling Green. Bemidji plays Lake State.
Jeez.
I got to know.
I go down there in the fall every year. Like, this will be the time. I'm like,
Bowling Green does not have
Bowling
Minnesotans.
Green.
Lake Superior State does have Minnesotans, though, but Bowling Green does not.
I got a note, by the way. I just wanted to point out behind me, we've got the Arizona State jersey and the Robert Morris jersey, the Colonials.
New one.
Well, I'm friends with coaches at both those schools, so I took a nice little selfie.
Best friends or just regular friends?
Just friends.
Regular friends.
I texted both Greg Powers at Arizona State and
good guy.
Derek Schooley at Robert Morris. I said, you guys must like my backdrop. And they, I got some funny notes back, but then Derek Schooley pointed out that's a women's jersey. So.
Which one? Oh,
the Colonials.
Colonials.
We take what we can get here.
We are not. I just love the logo. It's a cool logo. That's why I loved it so much.
The Twin Cities chapter of the Robert Morris Alumni Club. If you have a men's jersey that you'd be willing to donate to the show,
we'll take any jerseys.
We will take it. Send it to Wes Nessman.
Yeah,
and the address is.
7803 Glenroy.
I just found
there's a Twin Cities alumni for University of Minnesota Duluth who has anyone like if you have 6 or 7 or 8, 9 jerseys, I would take that too.
All right, yeah.
I just found a fairly notable bit of information as well from the last hour. Michigan freshman drafted Henry Muse suffered a season-ending injury.
Oof.
For Michigan.
Ouch. Not good.
Just tweeted out within the last hour, he's a third-round pick of the Calgary Flames from Ottawa who played Major Junior the past few years and had 9 points in 10 games. Now going to be out.
That's too bad.
It's a big one for them. So I thought I would mention that because that was within the last hour. Just saw
Poor Flames.
Not good.
Poor Flames.
Not good.
Poor Flames.
Right, is that wrap it, or you got anything else?
I think so. That's all I had. I just wanted to throw that in there.
A lot of hockey, a lot of college hockey here in Minnesota.
Covered a lot here, man. We covered a lot.
This episode yet?
A lot of depth.
I know. I'm just scrolling through my Twitter. I'm like, what else do I got? Anything? I don't think so.
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
Yep. So for Sydney Wolf and Wes Myers, I'm Tony Scott. Thanks for tuning in to today's show.